Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve problem 1431 kids with the greatest number of candies. So let's read what the problem is saying. So the problem saying there are n kids with candies and we have given a candies array where each I represent the number of candies the I children have and we also given extra candies. The problem asking to return a resultant array where if we give those extra candy to a student, to a kid I, then that kid has the greatest number of candies among all the kid. Let me make first let's understand the problem. What the problem is saying. So the problem saying we have n kids and each candies in this array representing the candies the ith kid has. For example, this is index 0, 1, 2, 3. So this representing the kid 0 has the 2 candies, kid 1 has the 3 candies and so on. And we also have given 3 candies. This is extra candies we are given and the question is saying if we give this extra candy to any student, uh, then that student have the greatest number of the candies among all the kids. So we have to return a resultant array where if I give this three extra candy to student zero, then it has candy five. Then it has candy five because he has already two and we have given three extra. When total it's become five. If I give this extra candy to a student three, then the total candy student zero will be six. And similarly, if I give it to a student two, then it becomes eight because five plus three will be eight. And if I give three to a student three, then it becomes four, and at last it becomes six. So what the problem saying? This saying if uh, return a resultant array. This is not a resultant array. I'm just write how a resultant will look like. The question is saying we have to return a resultant array where if after giving this three extra candies to a student, if the sum become greatest among all the candies among all the kids, then return true. So let's see if I give a extra candy to student zero, will it become the greatest? So what's the greatest here? Here greatest is five among all the kids means that is the maximum candy the student to have. So the if I give three candy to student zero, then it become five. It is greatest. So yeah, uh, we can write true for the student 1. Why? Because after giving extra candies to student 0, it has the greatest candies. Again, if I give it to student 1, then how much candy it have? 6, which is greatest. Again, we can return true. Yeah. Uh, for 8, it is greater than 5, so we can return true. Uh, if now we move to student 0, 1, 2, 3, third. Now third student has candy 4 after giving extra candy. Still, it's not the greatest among all. So we can say no, false. And finally, 6 is greatest. So we can return. So you understand the problem. So how we will solve this? So the idea will be simple. First, we need to find the greatest candy so that we can compare. So, among all kids, 5 is the maximum candy that kids to have. So, we can say the greatest candy is 5. And now we will iterate over these candies and add. this extra candy, and if become equal or greater than 5 means greatest, then we can write true for those that kid, otherwise false. So let's see how we will write this. For that, we need to create a resultant array. It will be a Boolean list, not array. We have to return a list. So let's create the resultant list. It expect Boolean, uh, call it resultant, and new array list. Okay. Now, what we will do? First, we need to find the maximum greatest candies among all the kids. So for that, I need a variable maxi. I will call it maxi. Uh, let's start with 0, and I will iterate over all the kids and select the greatest candy. For int e, I can say it kid or candy. Let's say candy. Now I will use for loop can is, and I will track maximum candy. For that, I can write like this max for max and maxi and candy. It will track the maximum candy a student have. This is the my greatest candy. Now, what I can do again, I will run a for loop which starts from 0 to n, and I will check if I give that extra candy plus what our student already have, if their sum become greater or equal to the maxi, then I will uh, write true, otherwise false. For this, I need for loop which start from 0 and then I less than candies, number of candies, how many kids we have, candies dot length, and now I can check if candies occurred that occurred have this this candy. If I give that extra candy as well, extra candies, and if it become greater than the maxi, then for that kid I can say yeah, this is true. It's satisfying the condition, so I can write resultant for. I can add to in the resultant. Otherwise, I can write. Uh, I can add false. Simple. Okay. Let's run this and see. Oh, no, I have to return my resultant list as well. Now let's run the code. Okay, I am returning RES statement not expected outside the method. Okay, I have returned it outside the class. Here, I need to return, not here. Control X here. Let's run this and see. I have write the too many rows in Boolean. Let's rerun again. Yeah, now all the test cases is passing. Let's submit it and see whether it is right for all the test cases or not. Yeah, we have achieved good marks, 96%. Yeah, means it is good enough good question. So let's analyze time complexity and space complexity for this problem. So let's come here. So what we are doing, first we are iterating over all the candies which take a linear time to find the greatest. So first in time complexity, I am using one for loop, a linear for loop for finding the greatest, and then for loop, another for loop I am iterating over candies again and to check to check each kids who are satisfying the condition. So I have to run one for loop again. So I am using two for loop. So overall, I am using this time complexity. And what is this complexity? So I am not using any extra space uh, for the problem. So this complexity will be constant. Complexity will be constant. And we will not count. Okay, let me write one here. We will not count this list in a space complexity because we are not using it for our code. This is the requirement we have to return. That's why we are using. So this will not include in our space complexity. So here I am just using a string variable which is constant. Yeah, that's all. So then